Association Chat, produced by Amplified Growth and Human Factor, talking about all things association, nonprofit, and anything else that pops into my mom's head. And now, here is your host, Kiki L'Italian.
Yay! I'm like cheering for myself, Blake.
You're cheering for yourself?
I'm cheering for myself. I hear it. Oh, and now there's the applause that I wanted. Yes, yes.
I'll let it go for a while.
Thank you. That's good. I'm feeling
Fun, right?
Yeah. No, I'm feeling.
You're in a different room this week.
I am in a different room, and I'm feeling totally appreciated.
Really?
I am. You know why?
Why?
Because you're wearing an Association Chat t-shirt, Blake, and that is just, look at that merch.
You feeling grateful?
I'm feeling grateful. Are you feling grateful?
Yes, it's Thanksgiving week.
It is. This Thursday.
We get time off.
November 22nd. We're going to get time. I don't have any time off.
Well, us self-employed people don't ever get time off.
I know. But you know what Thanksgiving means. It means you're going to end up going to family dinners or Friendsgivings. You're going to argue about politics. You're going to try to avoid subjects, and it's going to fail. But I mean, and there's pumpkin pie.
There is pumpkin pie.
You know. But there's also something else that always comes up, at least around my family table. And that is, somebody always says, well, this year, name 3 things that you're grateful for. You know, they don't say it like that either.
Where do you live?
My family's from Southwest Missouri, so it sounds very different from that. But, you know, it's like, well, let's talk about the 3 things that we're most thankful for. And I have to admit, maybe occasionally that's been me asking the question. And maybe I did say it like that. But you know, there are all kinds of different magazines and articles and experts who are talking about, they're talking about gratitude and why it's healthy for you and it makes you more successful and it makes you happier. But does it really? Okay. And also, how? Like, how do we go about this practice of practicing gratitude? You know, what is the best way to do this? And so I want to introduce our guest because we have a fantastic guest to help us understand this whole thing better. And that's Lauren LeMunyan.
Lauren LeMunyan?
Lauren LeMunyan.
Let's put her on.
Yeah. Some of you in the DC area may have seen her recently at the Association Chat Happy Hour hosted by Brightline. And it was fantastic. We had so much fun.
The VR thing?
The VR thing.
Yes.
And
that was fun.
Lauren was there, and she was holding court over in a table. Like, I mean, everybody was hanging on every word that she had to say, which is why, you know, she's my friend, and also why I wanted her to come on and share with us a little bit more about gratitude, right? A little bit more about gratitude.
Yep.
So she's a Spitfire Coach, author of the book Spitting Fire. Lauren, oh my gosh, why is it important for us to practice gratitude?
Well, first, let me share my gratitude in you having me on Association Chat today.
Oh, you're so welcome. So
I
happy
had to tie that in.
I am very thankful. Blake's reminded me, and thank you, Blake, for doing this. Also, anyone watching this show right now, if you have a question for Lauren, if you have a question for us, and if you want to say something you're grateful for and practice gratitude right now, then
call in.
There's a number on the bottom of the screen.
202-816.
That's amazing.
5367.
I was like,
that was suspense.
Wow, that's the voice of God.
That was suspense,
and He made me wait for it. Okay.
All right. So sorry. Now we can.
No, but you can call in, and so Lauren was telling us that she's grateful for being here. I'm grateful for Lauren being here. Lauren, is it important for us to practice gratitude? Why? Why is it important for us to practice gratitude?
Well, you just answered your own question. Yes, super duper important. And there's a very simple reason for it. Mm-hmm. Our brains are powerful machines. And what we set its course to is what we attract in and what we observe. So imagine that you have a super duper negative, critical, pessimistic eye. Guess what you're going to see in the world? All the things that are wrong with it. You're going to just attract that in. You're going to pick up the things that are missing. But when we focus on what we're grateful for, when we practice that attitude of gratitude, we're dialing in all of the positivity, which in turn allows us to see the good in other people, in ourselves, in our world, And it's not even that it's attracting it in, but we are allowed to see what actually is in a really beautiful way.
I love that, because I do find that over the years, once upon a time, I used to think that I used to be sort of, I don't know, drawn in by people who were kind of pessimistic and cynical and stuff.
You were a goth chick.
I was, but I thought that when people complained, it was like they were smarter or something, like, oh yes, you're so wise you're already jaded. So, you've been around and you understand things.
You're seasoned.
Yeah, you're seasoned. But, over the years, what I've discovered is that I actually have to keep myself distanced. Even if I like the people, I have to keep myself sort of separated and protect myself a bit, because it drags me down, and I catch my thinking changing over into being more negative too. Do you find that that's true with the people that you work with?
100%. I think once you have the awareness to the fact that your mindset, so what you're actually focusing on, creates your belief system, creates the thoughts, creates the actions that reinforce it. So if you believe it to be true, it will happen. And I think that once you can take ownership of that, then you can take ownership to the people that you allow in, what you allow to absorb in you, and then how you interpret it. So if you're just an open door to all the nonsense and BS in the world, you don't even realize how much that it's affecting you. And you think that you're able to manage it. But right. Even the most seasoned coaches and people who are trained in this have to have boundaries in order to preserve their own energy and well-being.
Oh, now, okay. Bonus round, because because actually boundaries, boy, that's an important one to talk about too, especially going into some of these family gatherings and stuff. How do you do that? I mean, what's the Spitfire Coach method for doing that, so that we can fast track to success?
Yeah, well, I actually had a preview to this, because this past weekend I was with a lot of family for my grandmother's funeral. And I'm going to be real with you. Like, my family triggers the crap out of me. I come from a very loud and boisterous family from the New Jersey area. We speak our mind. We know each other well. And I was very intentional before I went in there about what I wanted to get out of it, meaning how am I going to show up to get the best outcome out of this? And I actually worked with a coach before I left to get my brain centered around what I was grateful for, whether they were those individual people or things that are happening in my life, so that I could see what was amazing in my life rather than what was lacking. So that's number one for the boundaries, of set the intention of what you want to show up as to get your ideal outcome. Because so many times we walk into these family situations being like, Uncle Bob's going to get drunk, my mom's going to be a nag, my brother's going to be an a-hole and hog the TV or say something offensive. And so we're already pre-triggered and predisposed to have these negative reactions to people. But if we can set up ourselves and saying, you know what, I'm going to be the peacekeeper for myself. I'm going to maintain my boundaries and be okay in this space. And when I'm not, I'm going to make an intention to leave this space or to have another coping mechanism to transition, so that we're able to show up as our best and most powerful selves, even when we're dealing with those negative influences or potential triggers that we've had our whole lives.
I love that.
So the boundary is really just this little barrier, this little shield of you to make a different decision instead of to react.
Right. So how did it go, though? Can I ask?
Amazing.
Really,
I had the best time ever. Like, people are going to be in their little bubbles. They're going to be like, there were 50 people at my grandmother's funeral. Like, but it was this beautiful expression of appreciation for a woman's life. And while people were emotional, I was able to go and share my book with them. I was able to sit and chat with them. And they were able to see me in a different light. They hadn't seen me in 15, 20 years. And I was able to almost be the conduit of a positive experience for people.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to say something really woo-woo right now, but it sounds like what you're talking about. It's just, even in talking about it, like a mindset shift, like an energy shift, which changes not just you, but the conversations of the people around you too.
It can, but the difference is I didn't do it to change anybody else.
You did it.
I did this all for me, because what people do is they're like, well, I'm going to do this, and then my brother's going to be nice to me, or he's not going to say this thing, or my dad's not going to be offensive and say something that offends me. You can't change or control anyone else. So if you know what to expect, you can then understand what your approach is going to be so that you can best show up in that situation. It's almost like a chess game. And if you look at it like a game, it's actually more fun instead of like a penalty or a punishment to be around your family.
Wow. I don't know. Blake, it might take a little bit more time for me to actually get there.
She probably can help you.
10 years.
It might take me
2000, if you start now by 2029.
Yes. 2029.
You'll be.
Hey, small shifts make big changes.
Baby steps, man.
Start some shift.
Start some shift.
Yes.
Shift it up.
Shift it up. So if you are, so that was good about setting boundaries. What about the gratitude practice? Instead of thinking about it when we go into sitting around the Thanksgiving table, is this something that you incorporate into your life daily? Is this something, so share with us how we can approach that.
Yeah, I do a daily gratitude journal, and all my clients have them as well. Because I think we take for granted what we actually have in our lives. And this isn't a comparison of my life's better or someone else has it worse off than me, but what is already here for you that you think you're seeking out or that you need to bring? Because most times what we need is right under our nose. But if we're not taking stock in it on a daily basis, then we're not appreciating it.
Yeah.
So it really just helps to open our eyes. Stress reactions allow you to see a pinhole. When you're in an awareness of creativity, of innovation, of really appreciation, which is where gratitude sits, it allows you to see everything that's around you. So it opens you to resources. It de-stresses you. It connects you with people. It finds those hidden solutions that you didn't know were there.
Deep thoughts. I'm like, I'm actually like, I mean, that's got me thinking about it though, because I try to write three things I'm thankful for I have this sort of scheduled journal thing.
You guys are so organized.
I know. You need to get organized too. You could do it. You could get Kim to help you. I'm sure she'd be all over that.
Help me.
She loves you, Blake.
Yes.
She would help you do this.
Help us organize.
Yeah. No, but it's I write 3 things I'm thankful for. I try to write 3.
Have we done it today yet? Have we done it?
No, I do it at night. Sometimes I do it in the morning, but most of the time, just so I can it's like one of those, I want to check every box and do everything on my page I'm supposed to do. Oh, I lost there. There we go. But yeah.
I would make I just had a spam call come in.
Oh.
I'm grateful for them because I got to reset my phone. What I would suggest for you is to start it at the beginning of your start at the beginning of your day with one thing you're grateful for, because that helps to set the intention and refocus you on positivity. You can also do reflection at the end of the day, but it sounds like for you, by waiting until the end of the day, the fact that it's like a checklist, it actually sounds like a chore or a to-do list. But if you put it in the start of your day as an energizing point, I'm really grateful for the fact that I feel awesome today, or that I'm going to be working with this person today. So it helps to focus on the positivity and gets you really motivated.
That's so awesome.
So, well, listen to this though. Sometimes I hear this stuff. I mean, and I actually do believe a lot of this. It is mental, but sometimes I feel like you live in this fantasy land. Sometimes, how do you actually deal with grief? Deal with grief. Do we I used to train at the UFC gym, and I found knocking the crap out of a heavy bag.
Can I just interrupt you for a second?
You always do.
It's like every single day he tells me something else. He's also like,
I'm not an MMA fighter. I got beat up by an MMA guy.
My CrossFit gym is right next to a UFC gym in Vegas. So
in Vegas,
and I watch UFC all the time. So we can spar.
Yeah.
He's like telling me
I outweigh you.
He shoots guns. He makes instruments. He I think he probably does ceramics in his spare time.
He's a modern man.
Very
He's
crafty.
a Renaissance man.
But no, you know what I mean? I hear this sometimes, and it's all like happy thoughts. Life is like you just said, like spam call. No, spam calls suck. See what I mean?
Well,
yeah. I want to address that because I totally hear what you're saying, Blake. And I actually was in Dallas and I had a very similar thought. There is this detachment that happens when people start to have this mindset control and things like that, and they can seem really out of touch. And there are different stressors in your life based on your experiences, how you set your life up, how your daily stresses impact you. And I was listening to this panel of these high-level executives of some very prominent name companies, and they were out of touch. They were basically saying to these women, like, in order for you to be a leader, you need to lead with your vulnerability. You need to have a positive mindset. And I'm like, you're saying that to the woman who's stressed out if she's going to be able to put food on her table, or she's afraid that her boss is going to call her on the weekend to come in, or she doesn't know if she's going to have a job next week. Like, there's a disconnect. So it's like, yes, there are people who are like, just be happy. And it pisses me off because it's not real. It's like, yes, it works, but let's be real that real life happens. Yeah. And sometimes we got to feel the feels and be pissed off and be scared and be angry and grieve.
Amen, sister. Oh my God. Every feeling is valid. I mean, we wouldn't, right? I mean, we're here to experience the full range of emotions that humans experience. And so
you can't have the high highs without the low lows. It's just not normal. And anyone who tells you that they are is full of it, or they're crying in their pillow at home.
But that's what I was going to say.
To you.
That's what I mean.
Like happiness shaming, or not.
It is.
It's like if you're not happy, or if you're not pretending to be happy, or if happy all the time, then somehow you're failing as a human being, and that's just not true.
I was going to say, isn't it? If someone was sad all the time, you say they're sick, and I would say if you're happy all the time, wouldn't that be another yin yang thing? Some sort of you know what I mean?
Like, well, I don't trust that, is what I would say. I don't trust.
Well, it's this whole perfection
Maybe you're
illusion.
just lucky. I don't know.
I mean, it's the portrayal of it. I mean, there's people who make their living on positive mindset, and there's people who put this myth out there that you just need to think happy thoughts and your life will be happy. And it's not about only being happy all the time. But if you want to feel a little bit happier, this is a really good tool in order to expand your gratitude and your appreciation. And it also will help you with stress relief, and it'll help you with problem solving. So there are huge benefits to it. I practice it, but this is not saying to not be sad, that depression isn't real, that you should just avoid being angry. No, feel it, but also know that you have a choice when to move through it. You now have a tool when you're ready to shift.
There's a woman that I know who she's just a really intuitive and helpful person. And besides you, because you're one of those too, but like, she was telling me that I was angry about something, and she was telling me that this is a good time, that even if you're angry, which is fine, that find what you're grateful for in that anger. So just like you didn't say, thank you for the spam call, you said, thank you for the spam call because, you know, and I mean, it was like, you let me reset my phone or whatever, and now I look better. I got a better position. I can see more of my picture that's up on my wall. Yeah. But it was like, frame it so that it's like, find what they've given you as a result of that anger or whatever it compelled you to do into the positive. And I thought that was really helpful. I'm still working on it, but
But the key piece is, you can feel angry at that moment, but when you're ready to move through the anger in whatever time you need, then you can use the reframe tool to find the lesson learned, or the gift, the hidden gift, because that will allow you to shift out of it. But if you jump too fast and you're pissed off and then you go to this, it ends up being really condescending and sarcastic, and it's not valid.
Yeah. I kind of felt that. I did feel it.
So that's a really good tool. And that's why, like, a lot of coaches would call it holding the space or holding the silence, because we give the clients enough time to feel it out. Like, we'll just be silent and be like, okay, tell me what you think. I'm going to validate you in your feelings, and then you let me know when you're ready to shift. And I'm going to then give you the tools to help you do it.
This is so helpful for me because, you know, I really do think that I wanted us to focus on gratitude as we went into this, but I do feel that the other thing that goes hand in hand with that is handling all these difficult emotions that come up, not just from Thanksgiving dinner, but all of the stresses that come up at this time of year. Yeah. So, you know, I do want to ask, so as people are going into, going into Thanksgiving and the holiday season and all of those things that go along with it, and they're practicing gratitude, hopefully writing their thing at the beginning of the day and maybe reflecting on it at night, which I now know that I need to do. I'm sure that there are other things that they need to be aware of as they are, closing out the evening or maybe reaching out and trying to, I don't know, connect with loved ones in a better way.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that people should remember that's maybe a quick tip that they can take with them going into like this experience?
The best thing to do is to be the influencer in the conversation. So ask more questions than you answer. So you're actually in the driver's seat rather than feeling like people are like grilling you. Get curious about them. Try to learn new things about your family members. Don't just keep it surface level. Try to understand them a little bit more on things that aren't like ready-made topics. Like go a little deeper, but also before you do there, understand your triggers and their buttons so that you don't go right to it.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that's so helpful. What do you think?
Free advice.
Free advice.
Free
I know.
advice.
I'll send you my invoice later.
That's right.
Thank you. I don't know. Let me practice a little gratitude. I really do appreciate it. Before we close out, I want to ask you, where can people find you online?
Everywhere. I'm everywhere.
Yes.
You can find me at Lauren LeMunyan, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can go to spitfirecoach.com. There's tons of articles, blogs. You can pick up Spitting Fire. And there's the Spitfire podcast at spitfirepodcast.com.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today,
Thank you.
Lauren.
The girl likes her spit.
She likes to spit. She can spit hot fire. One day we're going to get you on here to rap. That's it.
To rap?
She does.
You rap?
She's really good.
I don't have any rap music. Can you rap to Latin music?
I don't know. Lauren? She's like,
No.
Maybe. If you bring me on again. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see. Come do a show. All right. Close it out. Bring it to my girl. Woo.
Thanks for listening to Association Chat, produced by Amplified Growth and Human Factor. For more information on Amplified Growth, go to amplifiedgrowth.net. And for more information on making podcasts for your association, go to Human Factor at humanfactor.net. To hear past episodes, go to the Association Chat YouTube channel and subscribe. See you soon!